Welcome to Behind the Smokescreens, where we give you a raw and unfiltered look at what it's like to run a business as young entrepreneurs. In our line of work, we have the pleasure of creating relationships with a variety of characters. Influencers, athletes, models, digital media gurus, CEOs, and industry experts. And we'll be inviting them on to share with you. Sit back, grab a sip and a smoke as we take you behind the smoke screens. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Smoke Screens. This is Laura Clark, James Keith. I'm Philip Siegel. This episode is presented by Ice Age Management, McDonald's. We're loving it.
We're loving something.
That's right. And we are not at Havana Phil's. Surprise, surprise. We're at Double Oaks Bed and Breakfast.
On location.
With our good friend James.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, man.
James,
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Indeed, my pleasure.
Yeah,
We're excited
absolutely.
to be here.
You're hosting the podcast tonight. Is there anything you'd like to ask us?
Mm-hmm. What a twist of event.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I wasn't expecting that.
How about that?
Anything I'd like to ask, what am I smoking? How about that? Since
Ooh.
most of the time I enjoy my pipes at Havana Phil's. So can you tell me a little bit about what I'm enjoying?
You are smoking a Romeo y Julieta, Reserva Real, Nicaragua.
What am I supposed to be getting from this?
Medium body,
Okay.
creamy, not too strong, really, really smooth. I think I would pair with bourbon.
I think we can do that.
He has a glass of bourbon.
Very special bourbon.
So
Just-
you poured this
just
bourbon
for you.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give us a rundown of what we're sipping on?
No issue with brand calling out here.
No free ads.
Yeah, typically we don't do free ads, but
Right.
we'll make an exception since we're not familiar with this company.
And it's not available in North Carolina. This is the rarest bourbon. This is Old Pogue Masters Select from Maysville, Kentucky. They have distillery license 3, number 3. It's a great operation up in Maysville, Kentucky, right on the Ohio River. The folks there are absolute masters at what they do. And we drive all the way up there just to get this. It's that special.
Wow.
You said number 3,
Distillery license 3.
so they were the
Original.
third distillery.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, cool family history. Remus bought them out during Prohibition, and then the guy that's running it, I don't know what generation of Pogue, but it's incredible. And they're just killing it. And it's such a really cool place to be at. It's the original family homestead, and guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
So
it's very
I'm happy
tasty.
to drive and support him.
Well, speaking of cool places, tell us a little bit of the background about where we are tonight and how this
Right.
came to be.
That's it can be a long story, but I don't have to bore you all with all the details. But
We have time.
Word. I flew here in 2005, I think, somewhere like that, to audition at UNCG for the music program. And I drove past this house, and I took a picture, and I told my wife that I'll buy that someday. And she said, hell no, it's too much to clean. And so then went through grad school, did all that stuff, and enjoyed that life. But accident happened toward the end of school, and kind of shifted my ability to do that job so successfully. And just a mix of various other skills, and we decided we'd buy it and open it up to the public. It was a private family home before, and its long history in Greensboro, it was designed to be a home that was open and where the public could come in for social gatherings And we wanted to do that again. And so Amanda and I opened it, and we began work on it and opened the 3rd floor and did all this outdoor space. And now it is what it is. And people are here every week, and it's kind of nice. Lately, we've grown from a staff of 2 to 14, and I've had some Gatsby moments where I can stand at the top and kind of look over and and enjoy seeing, all these people from the community enjoying the space, even on a day where it's hot as blazes. They're still out. They're still supporting. So
That's awesome.
What do the people come here for?
the people staying or people
the
here
community,
for
the community of Greensboro.
We do a Wine Wednesday program, and we've been doing that for years now. And what we wanted to do was share the love amongst all the alcohol distributors and bring a different one every week, feature different wines they can taste and all that. It's free to entrance. We wanted a place where people could come, hang out, and listen to really great music. And we have our bar open. We grill pizzas, fry up some wings, and we wanted it to just be a relaxed, come as you are atmosphere. And that's what we got. We got people that come in flip-flops and people that come in suits. It doesn't matter. And we've been pushed a lot of different ways by a lot of different customers who want one thing or the other. And I've just reminded them that if what we're offering is not what they want, there are plenty of places for them to go around Greensboro that are great to support as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really capture the casual vibe, and then you have the live music as well.
Yeah, and the music thing took on a life of its own. We had started with kind of a core group of jazz musicians, and my connection with the university really helped that out. So I knew a lot of students, and they came over, and we wanted to throw them a little bread to play, but also just a chance to hang out, have a good time, and hey guys, it was a slow night, but here, have some drinks, make you some pizza, chill out, let's play some music. And it's grown now to the point that we have a core trio, but now it's just this big jam session, and a bunch of people come over. And notice the past few weeks, we've even had some high school students that showed up.
Nice.
And the musicians on stage, these are college-educated musicians who are phenomenal at their craft. They're bringing these high school kids up to have a good time and just jump in. And interesting, they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. And you can, like, one of them, his parents come with him every week, and they're just beaming, and it kind of makes my day, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that just speaks to what you said about kind of bringing it to the community and making it a place where everybody feels welcome and everybody feels like there is something for them.
Well, that's the point. There's so many restaurants and other places that you can go and hang out, but I don't like to go to a place if I feel like I have to wear something other than the one golden rule at Havana Phil's, which I learned the hard way, where you cannot wear flip-flops in the executive lounge. It's just a no bending on the rule.
What about the Crocs that you have?
Oh, I don't wear those in public.
Oh.
Those are my
Didn't
house
see that in
shoes.
the rule book.
But I respected that rule, and I marched my fat butt out to the patio.
It's a nice patio.
It's a great patio.
Yeah.
I mean, you
So
built
I
a hell
never
of a
feel
place, man.
bad kicking people out on the patio because
It could be worse.
Yeah.
But but getting back to it, I mean, that's the thing. Some days, it was a hot day. I wanted to be in flip-flops and shorts, or other days I'm fine being dressed up, but I just don't like feeling like I have to.
Yeah.
Usually if I feel like I have to, I'll go and support them occasionally, but just it's not a home place
It takes
for me.
the enjoyment out of it.
It really
feels
does.
like a chore, more or less, because there's so many rules to kind of get to that point. By the time it's said and done, it's not really that fun anymore.
And you know what I noticed is when you go out to a certain restaurant where you feel you have to, you sit differently. And most people actually even present themselves just a little differently. And if this is going to be my business with Amanda, and we are here working, we start 7:30 in the morning, and it's most days 12, 13, 14 hours. It's my place. I'm going to be as comfortable as I possibly can, minus being naked, and no one needs that. So I just figure make it a place where if you want to be dressed up, that's great. And if you don't, I don't care.
Yeah.
Come over, have some pizza and wings, listen to some jazz, drink a little wine and beer. There's only so much room for pretense.
Mm-hmm.
So
To take us on kind of a different path, I mean, that's a long day by yourself, but do you ever find it challenging spending that much time kind of working hand in hand with your spouse? Do you ever feel like...
Good question.
So that's actually a good question, and this is going to sound like total. We can say whatever we want.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's going to sound like total bullshit, except it's not. I'm one of the lucky guys that we've been married for 16 years now, and I really dig Amanda so much.
It's so cute.
And and not just in the romantic way, but like we both have other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been pretty flexible lately, and we've had some staffing changes, so she's had to be a lot more involved here. And I prefer those days when she's here, even if we don't work on the same thing, just knowing that she's still here, it just makes the day so much better. And it's funny, it makes me more focused, which you could probably guess is a real big challenge for me. I don't focus for anything. But something like this, you build something like this, and we've had so many people say, "Oh, James, good job, James, good job." And I'm sitting there going, I had some ideas, and I've put in my sweat time, but none of these ideas work without everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't cook for 150 people on a Wine Wednesday without an incredible staff. And right now, Jared, our chef, is so good. And we had our ovens fail, I don't know, almost 2 months ago. And I said, well, grill them like we used to before he came on. He was like, grill them? Seriously? And it was hot, real hot. And at the end of the night, he goes, you were right. That was awesome. And it gave him a chance to be a little more amongst the customers. And Jared's phenomenal with customers. And then the whole crew just has a good time. And usually after everybody leaves, we'll sit together and we'll crack open whatever we got left and talk crap on all the customers that annoyed us. And we have some Karens. Oh man, we had one the other night. God, I called her out. She came in. She was so complaining about her pizza was taking too long, and I was like,
I love this.
"Ma'am, they told you it's going to be an hour wait. Why is it so long?" I was like, "Open your eyes, look around." And then she came into the kitchen, which she's not allowed to. She walks in, she's like, my blood sugar's getting low. And that girl told me 5 minutes, it's now 7 minutes later. I was like,
Oh my God.
here's your free dessert. Get your blood sugar in check. I'll go look after your food. I go, and long story, but they were just putting in the grill. And I come down to her table, and God, I felt so good about this. She said, well, I looked at her and I said, hey, they just put it in the grill. Oh my gosh, just now they're putting it in the grill. Why is it taking? And I just kind of put my hand up. I said, ma'am, I hope you're enjoying that dessert that I gave you. I've already comped your whole table. You know that band you're enjoying that I paid for? I hope you really enjoy them. That free wine tasting that I also paid for, I hope you're enjoying it. And then I walked away, and she was just huffy. And I went up on the stage, and I got everybody quiet, and I thanked the whole crowd for being so patient with my incredible staff who are cooking over an 800-degree grill and blah, blah, blah. Thank you for showing what Greensboro can be to support all the hospitality industry as we come out of the most hellish year any of us will ever know. And that whole speech, I stared her down. Because honestly, at that point, that's kind of one of those moments of, there's another place you can go. For what she's looking for, we got plenty of it.
Quick pizza, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go somewhere else. Your
Yeah.
$20 just ain't gonna...
It's not going to make or break you here.
Well, and also, it's no good here at that point.
Yeah.
If you're gonna mistreat my staff who are sweating, running, and working, two things become clear. You're looking for a place you can park right up front, and they're gonna coddle and cater to your every need.
Yeah.
And you have also never worked in service. Guaranteed.
So true.
So, but everybody applauded for that speech, except her.
Sounded great. I wish I was there for that.
It was pretty epic. I felt really good about it too.
You should.
And that
You
just
should.
goes to show that, you guys create that experience here. And people come for that experience. They come for the wine. They come for the music, the customer service,
Yeah.
the personalities like you. And then there's the people that they don't really know what they're walking into.
They don't, and it was interesting. At the end of the night, as they were leaving, she kind of scowled at me, and I just kind of giggled. But her friends at her table all apologized for her and said, she always does this. And I was like, oh, God. Then she needs some different friends or just stay at home.
You guys need to go out on a different night.
Yeah, go on a different night to a different place. And
do you think that has to do with the geographical location of the bed and breakfast?
No. I think it actually, well, kind of, if you think about it this way, it probably took her more effort to drive all the way here. Because she's from an area on the north side of town. Beautiful neighborhoods and all that stuff, and that's great. But, you come over to Westerwood, downtown, anywhere like this, you might have to walk a little bit after you park. And that's kind of the downtown thing, and that's okay. That should be embraced instead of scoffed at. Because the more room we make for parking, the less room we have for, identity-driving Greensboro businesses.
Right.
I mean, what does a parking garage do for us?
Exactly. There's
a balance. And when it comes to my neighborhood, they've been so patient with what we're doing here because on Wednesday nights the parking is hell. It's bad. But what I see is mostly my neighbors, friends, people here supporting. And when COVID hit, I mean, we were doing pizzas to go, and that's the only thing that kept our lights on. The refunds we had to issue for all of the weddings, all of the overnight stays, UNCG, they booked the heck out of us. They have been so supportive with all their job candidates, doctoral candidates, all that stuff, and they come here. Well, that all came to a grinding halt, and so they needed refunds. And we decided we'd honor that and pay everybody 100% back, which hurt, but what do you do?
But I truly believe that comes full circle, and because you were the person that you were, that will only come back greater. So
thanks. I mean, it's kind of looking that way. Most Wine Wednesdays before were about 60 to 80 average, and we were doing them all inside.
Yeah.
And now it's 150 average, and the musicians are just sitting there having a good time, even when it's 95 degrees out. They're still playing outside, covered in sweat.
Yeah.
But they're giving it, and it makes me happy to see the people that have all come together to do it. And it's fun.
Yeah.
So that's what I want.
So we're at the bed and breakfast. Let's talk a little bit about that. So you have 3 floors.
Had 2. Well, there was a 3rd floor, but it was all walled off and blocked. Yeah. So 3 floors now, 6 rooms. And the cool thing about the first and second floor, I mean, the house was really well preserved. I will say that. It didn't need to be gutted or anything like that. But the 3rd floor being walled off, it was basically an attic. It had its hallway and then doors that went to nothing, just joists and rafters, no electrical, no plumbing. But since it had never been built, it gave us an opportunity to build something that wasn't exactly original or historic. It gave us a chance to show off how the home is built. And so all the rafters in the 3rd floor are exposed. Instead of covering them in drywall, we cut nailer pieces and put up birchwood panels between every single rafter. It's the longest ceiling I've ever seen built. And might rival the Sistine Chapel in terms of money. But it was worth it because you see this construction, and it gave you a chance to build something that is truly unique in a historic structure. And so you can take guests and tours through the 1st and 2nd floor and show them, oh, this is, the finish quality, this is how plaster was, blah, all that stuff. And then you hit the 3rd floor and you go, what the? Here's now, you can get a window into how this is built, and you can see how you can work within a historic structure and still build something comfortable, very warm and welcoming, and new. So, yeah.
So what's in the house now as far as like furnitures and fixtures and all that good stuff? Did you guys keep what was original to the home, or did you refurnish with lots of different odds and ends?
Yes to all of that.
Okay.
The home, one of the coolest parts about the house being well preserved, it has all the fixtures except the dining room chandelier, which is this folklore story. No one knows really where it is, but I think I know. And after 5 years, I've kind of given up.
Yeah.
But like in the library and the music parlor, those fixtures are original. I pulled them down, had them rewired and grounded. All the toggle switches, which had been put in like the 80s or 90s, I removed them, and I put back push-button switches, brand new ones with rheostats. It was fun, but there were some original pieces of furniture, and we found the original blueprints to the home.
Wow.
It's North Carolina's first registered architect. They didn't have any of his blueprints on record, so we gifted them to the state archives in Raleigh. And it's a lot of cool stuff and cool history on this house, and an incredible family, and some prominent people have owned it since then in the past, and it just felt like it was time to open it back up.
Yeah.
And so every week, not just Wednesdays, but now we're open for dinner service on Thursdays and Fridays and brunch on Sundays. And we just tell everybody they can go through the house. If a door's closed, don't open it because it's probably a guest, and that would be creepy. But otherwise, it's just open. And we'll have big open house nights and have to go through the next day because people will have used this and that and all this throughout the house. But I don't care. It's here to be used and enjoyed, and makes us happy just to see people here.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think you letting people go through the house, adds to your guest list throughout the year?
yeah. That's been interesting, is to see.
Because that third floor,
Thanks,
that's
man.
a nice little getaway.
It is a cool getaway, and that's one thing we saw more, especially post-COVID. There was a little through COVID, but we would allow people every now and then to come over during COVID if it was just them, and the desperation on their face for just not being at home for a little bit. And so we had a lot of people from a block away, a couple miles away, and they would come over and buy wine, and we would cook for them, and they would just have a night away. And the other thing we've seen is a lot of local couples with young kids now, and the in-laws will fly into town to see, and either they'll put the in-laws up here or they'll stick them with the kids at home, and they'll come over here. And we had a couple, I think it was from Kernersville. They came over and they just looked just ragged, and they brought 4 bottles of wine and said, "We'll see you in the morning." They closed the door. All of them were gone between 2.
Impressive.
Yeah. And they looked rough in the morning, but it looked like the first night they'd slept in a long time. So, and that kind of makes our day. It should be a place where people can unwind and enjoy and sit and sip. I mean, what's the motto at the lounge? The time motto?
Time beautifully filled.
It's kind of one of the most precious things, isn't it? Time.
Absolutely.
And we wanted to build a place as little time as that gives us to enjoy. It means a lot to us to see other people taking just a minute to chill out. Or like all those job candidates at UNCG, they'll come over and they're shaking like a leaf. They're nervous. They got a lot riding on the interview, and I tell them, "Hey, chill out. Pour some wine, then pour 7 more glasses of it. Go sit on the veranda, relax. You got here, just go interview." And that's been kind of fun to see. So, yeah.
You guys sell vacations, but we sell mini vacations.
Basically.
And you also sell our mini vacations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you're going with that one, buddy.
Going through the layers there.
This is just the ultimate place to go.
That means a lot to hear that. I mean, we didn't build it so people wouldn't use it.
That's right.
I mean, the first couple years, I was the chef, I was the housekeeper, and that was kind of a surprising thing that my fat ass, sweaty and everything, could still clean the crap out of a room, and it was perfect. We went through, I think, 3 or 4 housekeepers that claimed to be housekeepers, and I was like, "Honey, if I can do this better, I mean, look at me. If I'm doing this better than you, stop doing your job." And we were lucky enough to find someone recently, and they're just incredible. So,
how does your physique relate to cleaning a room?
Do you realize how much more effort it takes to drag all of this around? I mean, when I clean a bathroom, I'm behind the toilet, and there's a lot of me to get behind. And but you do what you got to do. And honestly, I've had My physique, I guess, doesn't necessarily matter all that much because I've seen some skinny people work here, and they come out sweating full.
Mm-hmm.
So
It gets hot, that's for sure.
it does get hot. A lot of things get hot. Tonight is hot.
Yes, but we have a nice breeze.
We do. It's a breezy night in Carolina. Susie Cream Cheese would like it.
This wind, I tell you. Whew, might blow away.
Right?
Let's talk about your classic car collection.
All right.
Let's talk about your buggy.
my buggy.
I've never ridden in your buggy.
Well, tonight's your lucky night.
Laura, did you get a ride in the buggy?
I did.
You did. You came over for a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove you in the buggy.
What dinner? What?
That was a while back.
Why wasn't I invited?
I think I didn't like you then.
Oh,
No.
It was like elites only. So.
ouch.
Cut it.
Yikes.
People with Finstas
Sorry,
only.
I'm sorry I asked.
You weren't on the email chain. So.
No, this was, I think it was 3 years ago, at
Had to
least.
be, yeah.
Yeah, we did a private dinner. We brought some local people who would go around on Instagram and support other local businesses and feature them. So we said, screw it. We'll bring you in and make you a hell of a nice dinner.
Was it the machete night?
No. That was another one. That was a cool partnership.
It was, what's his name? George Kovac?
Yeah.
Kovac? Something?
Yeah, he was working here for a little while, and we wanted to show off all we could do.
Mm-hmm. And it was an incredible dinner, followed by an unforgettable buggy ride. So,
Do you guys do a lot of those dinners?
We're doing a lot more of them now, especially with Jared being here. One of my favorite things about working with Jared is he and I enjoy the process of coming up with meals together, and he is the chef, but he loves collaborating and talking with other people, and I'm kind of thinking of this, and we'll whittle something down to having a good time, and his creativity it doesn't stop. It keeps going, and so we got a French wine dinner coming up, but not a wine dinner. It's a wine seminar. Because there are plenty of places in Greensboro that do wine dinners, and that's great, and they've got that locked down. Mm-hmm. We wanted something a little more casual, and cool thing about that is you can come in, we talk a little bit, we eat a little bit, drink a lot, and just have a good time. And because wine dinners already have a note of pretension on them, just with what they are. So the way we're doing it is more, y'all come as you are, and let's enjoy some old grapes. Pour them out of a bottle, and there's a reason this food goes with this, and blah, blah, blah. So
should we invite Phil?
I don't know.
Oh. To be continued
I
on
hope
next
you
week's
do.
episode.
We did bring you over. We did bring you over for some food that one. No, it was a tasting. Wine tasting with
Andy.
With Andy. Incredible Andy. That's another cool Carolina-born business.
Yes.
Special one.
Great guy.
And cheers to Andy, indeed.
Cheers.
Cheersing.
Cheers.
All right. So this buggy. Let's talk
let's
about
get
the
back
buggy.
to the buggy.
I told you I couldn't focus for crap.
People are like, what the hell? Why do you have a buggy?
My
Is there a
undergraduate is in historic automotive restoration. And I get that a lot of people might say, why the hell? But that going through that program in Kansas was one of the biggest shift points in my life. I packed my bags and left Arizona, and I went to a town where I didn't know anybody, and learned to wrench on cars. I knew how to wrench on cars, but they really, the faculty there are incredible, and so I left there with this great appreciation for a lot more than just I was focused on Cadillacs, and now I have a buggy, 1912 Model T, which I bought from one of my professors. It's just a special car, totally unrestored. It looks like The Walking Dead in a car, but it still runs, and I'll take it to Harris Teeter and, oh, you gotta paint it, you gotta fix the interior, it looks ugly. I'm like, it's 100-something years old. It's lived long past I will, so I'm not gonna argue with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll restore it when it dies, but it's not showing any signs of that. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
And you just picked up a new one, huh?
Yeah. I'd wanted that car for a very long time. I wanted a 70 Cadillac convertible. It's the last of the great big Cadillac DeVille convertibles. And I wanted it white top and red leather. And you can find them, but they're either completely restored and silly, where you don't want to drive them, or they're rust buckets. And searching for years, and I finally found this one out in Napa, California. And my best buddy, Alex, he wanted to go to Vegas. And I said, well, let's go to Vegas, but let's just make this about 7 times the trip that you were planning. So we got on a plane here at 5 o'clock in the morning, flew to San Francisco, picked up the car that day in Napa. We got treated by Trinchero Winery to a full day in the valley. I mean, felt like kings.
Which winery?
Trinchero. They make a big line of wines, and we feature a lot of them here, so they were real nice, and they made a menu just for Alex and I. I mean, we felt pretty special that day. And I'm pretty sure everybody there thought we were a couple. And you know what? I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I just let it rock and roll. So we drove around in that, and then we hauled it to Vegas without checking the oil, and stayed there for a little too long with your recommendation to go enjoy the lounge in Vegas.
Beautiful.
And we certainly did. Great place. And then we drove it all the rest of the way across the country. We drove all the way through Utah, through Bryce and Zion, and then we stopped in Kansas, where Alex is from, where I lived, where Amanda was born and raised as well, and then just kept hauling it all the way here in 3,272 miles.
Wow.
Got here on bald tires and desperately needed to change the oil.
I'm picturing that scene from The Hangover where they're all piled up in that little Mercedes, just driving and cruising.
Yeah, except this one is like the great white Hunter S. Thompson car. I mean, it is quintessentially that, and that was pretty epic. I gotta admit, and we actually kept a cigar the whole time. I never lit the damn thing, but I just rolled with it hanging out of my face like I was that baller.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not, but it was a hell of a good time.
I love it.
Yeah.
How many miles are on it?
Now I think it just hit 50,000.
Wow.
Whoa.
It was a one-owner car. I bought it from the guy's daughter. And it really, in terms of the car world, finding one like that in that condition that had been garage kept its whole life with that low of miles, it's a unicorn. So I had to have it. Just had to. And I stay in touch with that lady. I send her pictures of it, where I drive it. And
nice.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, I took a pretty good video out when you parked it right
did.
out front. Yeah.
And you were successful at ignoring the part where the guy's granddaughters had destroyed the seats, the leather. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
It looked really great.
No problem. So my father, he always wanted a classic Cuban car to park out front of Havana Phil's.
Oh, man.
If I find one,
Yes.
that's perfect.
Yes.
Will you help me restore
Absolutely.
it? So I can just drive it like on a Sunday or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah. Well, okay, so if you want a proper Cuban car, you don't restore it. You keep it running.
Right.
So proper Cuban cars, at least now,
Yeah.
is, they would use whatever they could to keep it running. And a lot of those cars, any of the Tri-5 Chevys, 55, 6, and 7, they might not have the original engine in them. They might just whatever they could have to keep them on the road, but they're painted these wild colors.
Right.
It would look awesome.
We found a couple back in the day, and it cost so much, it just wasn't worth bringing it up here to make it run again.
I'll help you out.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Me and Joey, we'll get you taken care of.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. That would be... You should park that out there, get you some stencils for the car. Heck yeah. That'd be fun.
Connections. Relationships matter.
Relationships absolutely matter. That's why we have Havana Phil's in Double Oaks.
That's right. That's why we're at Double Oaks.
You can come here and enjoy Havana Phil's fine products at Double Oaks on our porch with our lovely smoking table.
And a Havana Phil's pizza.
Indeed. It's off the table right now, but it's coming back in a little bit.
Oh, breaking news.
Breaking news. When we had to shift over, we had to cut 4 or 5 pizzas off the menu just because of prep, and yours was the only one that had a whole list of ingredients that weren't used on anything else.
That makes sense, but
I mean,
it hurts a little, but
But think about
we'll
this.
recover.
Okay, think about what we had to do to keep that on. That pork was cooked for 8 or 9 hours.
Ooh.
And it's the only thing we used that pork on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's used in our kitchen for 8 or 9 hours just for your pizza.
Wow.
The reason we kept it was because it's so damn good.
So good.
So good. So it's definitely coming back, but we just had to put pause on it.
Yeah.
Plus, when it's 95 out, you don't want a pizza with jalapenos.
Yeah. It's too hot.
It is too hot, but it's so good. So good.
Can bring it back during spooky season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of spooky season.
Spooky season, more like football season.
Simmer down. Do you have any good spooky stories you can tell us about the house?
Ooh.
Mm.
There's one.
Okay.
Well, actually, there's a couple. So, I never believed in ghosts or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I don't know,
Yeah.
fine, whatever, if they're there. But we've had the same story told us by 3 totally different guests. And the second time it came out, I was like, that's weird. Third time, I was like, all right, I give up. That's real.
Yeah.
It's second floor in the King Suite with the new sexy bathroom. There's a young girl who does her hair and sings in the bathroom. Yep. One girl that we were hosting, she was freaked the hell out. When it came time for breakfast, she'd been sitting downstairs the whole night. And I was like, kind of felt bad, but I was like, well, that's kind of bullshit, honey. I think you came up with that in your head. Mm-hmm. And then 2 more people told me that. I was like, uh-oh.
Wait. These are guests staying at your
Yep.
hotel saying they saw a girl brushing their hair.
And singing.
And you haven't shared any of this, like, from guest to guest, right? Like, when you put them in the room, you're not
No.
like, oh.
No.
Okay.
Most people coming here to stay don't ask before staying,
Sure.
hey, is this creepy as hell? And I'm
Yeah.
glad they don't. But you've asked. So there it is.
So now this is on the internet.
Yeah, it is. It's out there. If you want to meet the young girl singing in the bathroom, come stay at Double Oaks.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
It's pretty cool.
It's the Double Oaks ghost.
I've always
She's
wanted to
nice.
see a ghost.
I would love to see a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every now and then, when I was doing the 3rd floor, I would, by the end of the night, we were just beat, and I was the only one here. Sometimes it felt a little weird. I don't know, but maybe that was just my own psyche trying to freak myself out.
Yeah.
It is a big house.
Would you mind if I stayed in that room tonight?
No,
Just to see the ghost?
I think you should definitely stay in that room. But if
Do
you're
an
gonna stay in that room, you gotta bring someone and enjoy that shower, or we do an episode in the shower.
Oh. Is that the
'Cause-
one with the tub?
Yeah, it's that big wet room. It's 2 showers, the tub, the clawfoot, everything, all in one room that's tiled, floor, ceiling, everything. I did that over COVID.
Hold on. Reverse that. Let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so explain the shower again. 2 shower heads.
Yeah, double shower head, so you can stand there and get hit both front and back.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a clawfoot tub in the same space, so it's just a big wet room.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I did one little sexy trick. I got these waterproof fixtures,
Mm-hmm.
and they're with blue stained glass. It looks a lot like your coat.
Mm-hmm.
You can dim them down, then it's sexy time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The lighting is perfect. Yeah.
Everything is about balanced lighting.
And then the girl singing in the mirror.
Yeah.
Brushing
You know-
her
Really
hair.
set the mood.
And maybe she just enjoys the show.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's up to her.
Oh.
Maybe she leaves.
She's a watcher.
Do we know her name or no?
No. I haven't seen her, so.
Yeah.
Now, have you stayed in that room since any of those guests reported that, just to kind of see?
Yeah, so we sold a house. We sold our house.
Mhm.
Between leaving that one and moving into our new one, we had a month. And we stayed in that room.
Okay.
And I think what I decided why I didn't see the girl is because she wanted to run away once I was going into the bathroom. She wanted nothing to do with that.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to argue with her because nobody needs that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Can't blame her. Maybe she went out and sat and enjoyed the fireplace.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Love to do a Ghostbusters episode where we come in here
Absolutely.
and just
We
sit
have
and
been
wait.
called by a bunch of people who are like, we want to come and study your paranormal activity, please.
No
and,
way.
Yeah.
Have
letters.
you taken a meeting?
No,
Why?
because I'm busy as.
I'll
Okay.
volunteer as tribute.
Next time they call,
All right.
call us.
Okay.
We're going to get Fwynn there, and we're going to film the entire thing.
All right, boss. You heard it. But here's the thing. I'm not going to be there. He gets to run the show. Double Oaks is Phillips for the day. All right?
So I'll be James.
Yeah.
Oh
James
my
has never had it so
God.
good.
I would love that. That'd be so awesome.
But you have to drive over in the buggy.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's only right.
I would give anything to see Philip try and drive the buggy.
I would give anything.
I would
to
drive
see
it right
Philip
now.
try
It
and-
doesn't have a gas pedal.
So
Uh-huh. I'll
do
teach
you-
you. I'll
To
teach
the
you one
buggy
day.
we go.
To the buggy we go, man. One of these nights.
how about tonight?
You know, it's over at the new shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
We
new
ought-
shop.
Yeah. We got a building over off Gate City now, and
Breaking news.
yeah, indeed. So you know Joey,
Mm-hmm.
and he was working for a while, amazing auto paint and body guy, and working for a shop, kind of getting paid way under what his talent was, and it was killing Amanda and I to see him struggle through that. And this building came up, and I have too many damn cars, so I needed space. Building came up that has a paint booth, and it's a beautiful shop, and then a whole back area where I was like, wait, you could open your own business, and I could store my crap here. I'll take care of it, and you get started. And his business, he's on a 2-year waiting list already.
Wow.
Well, he's really good at what he does. Really good. You know the panel truck out front?
Mhm.
That logo, he hand-painted that.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Hand-painted. Everybody does vinyl.
2-year waiting list.
Yeah.
What's the company called?
Carolina Classic Coachworks.
Coach what?
Coachworks.
Coachworks.
Carolina Classic Coachworks, and he's just good at what he does, and it's nice to see someone his age working in a trade and really just killing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we got all the cars over there, and we should. I wonder if you could get it set up. We do a drive video one time. We should actually do. It would take 45-minute show to teach you to drive the buggy.
You
But-
think it would take that long?
Yes,
Is it a manual?
not quite.
It's a buggy.
It's buggy.
It's a
She,
buggy
funny
with
thing
no
is, she's
gas.
right. She's right. It's not manual. It's not automatic.
So
It's
what
planetary.
what do you do to get it to move forward?
You wave your hand over where the gas pedal would be 3 times, and you say, "Buggy go, buggy go, buggy go."
But you
and then-
gotta click your heels at
yeah,
the same time.
Exactly. There's a special pair of shoes inside that you have to wear when you're driving.
Oh my gosh.
So to get it to go forward, you got to push the left pedal forward
Mm-hmm.
while accelerating the gas with a lever on the steering wheel.
I could do that.
Oh, you could do it. It'll just take a little while, and you'll kill it a bunch of times. Once you have it, we'll roll that thing down Elm Street. We'll hang a big Havana Phil sign on the side of it.
Let's do it. I got plenty of signs.
Or we could just take each car and keep rolling down Elm.
Oh wow.
Take the 70, 39 LaSalle,
Mm-hmm.
the new XLR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck
We
yeah.
could even get a horse and buggy.
Let's not get carried away.
I mean, I'll try anything twice.
Yeah.
I did say twice, and I'll definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could see the Lord after that.
For the first time.
Mm.
I feel him in this place tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the Lord, I have worked for Jesus since I was 16. That's my other job.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
As a music director at churches since I was young. This coming Sunday is my last Sunday.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we've hit a point. We're expanding Double Oaks, and it was time to not have another job because we need to dedicate to the new project.
More breaking news.
More breaking news.
Can you tell us about this expansion? Give us a
I
little
can tell you.
teaser?
I can give you a teaser.
Okay.
We are buying North Carolina's oldest hotel, built in 1833,
Okay.
up in the mountains. It's the gateway to Mount Mitchell, and the guest
What
book.
city? Can
Don't
you
do
tell
some
us?
Googling.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's in Burnsville, North Carolina.
Ooh.
It's a Norman Rockwell picturesque town. town square, everything. Really super cute. But guest book includes Mark Twain, Thomas Wolfe, Elvis Presley has a room there. Jimmy Carter stayed there. We found out Christopher Reeve stayed there, and for one split demented second, I was like, ooh, we should make a Christopher Reeve room on the 3rd floor. But then I just realized that's kind of messed up, so we're going to leave that alone.
Remind me who that is.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
Superman. He's not, well, I don't even, is he still alive?
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
quadriplegic.
Yeah.
And that's just a really ugly joke. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely pulled that on him.
So Fwynn only knows who that is because of South Park.
I know who it is because I remember the dollar movies when I was a kid during the summer that we would all go to, and they played Superman because it didn't cost anything to play it.
Right.
Yeah. So we're gonna buy it. We're closing it, restoring it for a year, and reopening it. Full restaurant.
Is this it?
Yeah, I would just use Google instead of the website currently
Okay.
because there are really good reasons not to use that.
Sure.
There's a reason we're buying it and restoring it.
Okay.
Just
So.
be normal and Google it. Don't be like Laura and go to
Googled
that
it, and I clicked on
website.
a link from Google.
Don't click on the links. Just go to the images and look at the
Okay.
pretty pictures.
Okay.
And that's it. But really, Burnsville as a town, it's interesting. It's 25 minutes north of Asheville proper.
Okay.
And it's an awesome mountain town with amazing shops, old school toy store right on the main street, an amazing coffee house, and this incredible brewery now that we actually carry on draft. We drive all the way up and bring their kegs down because they're
Wow.
so good at what they do. And when we started staying in that town, Amanda and I just said, we don't want to leave. We love it. We felt at home. And so we're closing at the end of September, and we're gonna do it.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks, man. That was a big step, and especially to no longer work Sundays
Yeah.
at another job. It's a big weight off my shoulders. I mean, the churches have been great to me. It's the only reason I was able to do this. But it was time. Definitely time to move on, and this project is really exciting.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, we can't wait to hear more.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And we've talked a little bit about maybe expanding some smoking options up there,
Oh,
because everywhere could use a Havana Phil's.
a mini vacation on your vacation.
Indeed.
That's right. They go hand in hand.
We do.
Well, and if you can stay there and 25 minutes, you be in downtown Asheville, a little more bustling, a little more life, and you get that experience, but also come back to a small mountain town and wake up and have an amazing breakfast at our place. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
24 rooms when we're done.
Wow.
So, yeah. Pretty excited.
That's a big step up, huh?
Yeah.
It is, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Is there a destination mountain out in Burnsville?
Mount Mitchell.
Okay.
Mount Mitchell. It's the gateway to Mount Mitchell, the highest point in the east. And there's so much fishing and kayaking and hiking and all this outdoor life up there. But at the same time, there's good town life. And it just seems like a place that needs the hotel. And so we're going to build it and collaborate with the brewery and the coffee shop and work with them because they're already kicking ass at what they do. I'm just going to add to it. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm pretty
And
excited.
Asheville is overflowing, so.
And prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people are going there.
Very exciting news.
We're excited.
I'm pretty excited. I'll bring
So-
you up for dinner. Maybe you can have dinner there.
Yeah. We're definitely going to get out there.
Well, I think you should, but we should take one of the fun cars.
Ooh.
We could roll that 70 Cadillac up the mountain.
Not the buggy, though.
Oh.
I'm actually not going to drive the buggy up there. I'm going to trailer it up there.
Yeah. Smart.
I love it, but I'm not quite sure about that mountain pass.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of breaking news, exciting news. a lot of passion and love. Do you have any last questions, Laura?
You know what, Philip? I got to tell you. You built something in Greensboro that is really special.
I didn't build it.
You're running something in Greensboro that is really special.
Thank you.
You are taking it to its next generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Carrying on the legacy.
And you got a cool customer base, and it's one of the most diverse customer bases I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And every time we're there, we see new people, different people, see the sheriff, and everyone in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it.
All walks
Absolutely
of
love
life.
it. All absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Well,
are you, a
thank you.
mile? You a mile up the street?
Yeah.
That's the best.
About 4 minutes.
When Alex is done at work at his school,
Mm-hmm.
he'll text or I'll call him and say, Phil's, and that's all it says. And it's usually just a product of either too spent or hell yeah, we're going.
And James always comes in. He sits down.
Uh-huh.
He'll shoot me a text. He'll be like, come see me real quick. And he'll be like, I'll tell you what. I haven't sat down like this all week. And this is what I live for.
It's real.
No lie. Every
That's
week
incredible,
that
though.
happens.
That's special. Like,
It is.
That is
It is.
That's your space.
You know, and the funny thing about it is, I remember when we started going there, it's not Amanda's scene, like it, because it's its own special version, kind of like a country club
Mm-hmm.
in the executive lounge, except it is far more diverse than most I've ever seen. But when she saw that, once I sit, and about 3-4 minutes, I'll light up my pipe, have my drink, and I go to the bar and the usual, which always makes me feel like Norman Cheers,
Mm-hmm.
which goal in life, and I get my Basil Hayden's rocks, regular rocks, in a weird glass. I don't even know what the hell you call it. Looks like a votive holder, and a Stella back. And then about 4 minutes later, I go, and everything is okay. It's perfect. We sit at that round window.
It's a mini vacation.
It's a mini vacation.
Mhm.
It's perfect. So, cheers to that, man. I could enjoy that every day. I wish I could, actually.
Yeah.
But
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, we all do what we got to do, right?
That's right.
Keep working.
Yeah. All right. This was a great episode.
This was a great episode.
Thanks for
Thanks.
hosting us.
Happy to.
We're not used to this. We're a little out of our elements
Mm-hmm.
and uncomfortable, but very comfortable.
Well, it's because of the really breezy night tonight.
Right.
Yeah. This beautiful Carolina wind is just wonderful.
Very windy. And as we always say, love you guys.
Love you guys.
I guess I do too. Yeah.